What up, peeps? Welcome back to the flip side. We've reached the final game on the Game Boy, Mega Man 5, or as some people call it, Mega Man V. But before we get into the review, we've got quite the lengthy but interesting cutscene. So let's get into it right now. Are you fucking serious, dude? Are you serious? I can't believe you've done this. The most powerful weapon ever devised? I don't know about that. That's a little outlandish to say. I don't know about you. The most powerful weapon ever devised? So, I hope you guys have your popcorn because this is going to be quite the lengthy video because there's just so much to say about this game. I think Capcom decided that they were going to end the Game Boy line of Mega Man games, so they cut it off with one final story with a brand new story, brand new characters, new music, just mostly everything. So let's get into the new stuff here. Of course, we have Dr. Wily and let's get into Tango. So Tango is supposed to be like something like Rush that you call in to help fend off and against enemies, but really, Tango kind of sucks. I'm sorry. I tried multiple times to use Tango and it's just bad. Alright? It's just bad. So, the new robots I mentioned, they also have new music and new weapons. Alright? And we get to see a close-up of the new Star Droids, which is what they're called, the Star Droids, and they're named after different planets, which is cool. So we have new music, and let me get into the soundtrack. This is probably one of the best Game Boy soundtracks ever created. I'm sorry, it's just that good. I played so many different Game Boy games as a child growing up, and nothing tops the soundtrack of this game. It just is what it is. That's my opinion, and I will die on this hill. So, select screen. Alright, so some more new stuff is, alright. Sorry, something came up. Alright, let's get back into it, shall we? So, some of the new stuff is, once again, the bosses. We not just the star droids, but we also have brand new sub bosses. Okay, stuff we've never seen before. I just want to make sure we're still recording. In the middle of the game, we fight a yellow devil boss, which I'll show you in a little while. And we also fight that guy from the cutscene. His name is Terra. So, what I like about these stages is that there's cool little new elements that we don't get before. That we haven't gotten before. And it's brand new enemies. And there's... just across the different stages, there's like gravity mechanics, there's waterfalls that will bring you off the stage, there's different kinds of blocks that you can break with different weapons that lead to new paths and just new rooms where you can get stuff, like different items and things like that. Just cool elements like that. You know, we still have ice physics, and we still have, like, spacey elements, like the floatiness and things of that nature. I don't know if I'm forgetting anything, but if I am, I'll mention it. Let's get into the weapons. Now, Mega Man 5 for Game Boy has probably the best weapons out of all the Game Boy games. Better than Mega Man 3 and better than Mega Man 1. Alright. Mercury's weapon it's strong, and it siphons energy from them. So you can get like little heals and weapon energy, and you can get P-chips, the currency from the last game that's in here again. Neptune's weapon, it's okay. It's pretty strong. It's a salt water ball, and it operates like the crystal ball from the last game. It kind of ricochets off the wall. And then Mars's weapon, the photon missile. You know what? That's one of the only weapons I probably don't like, is the photon missile. It takes like 2 seconds to fire, even though it's like really strong. And then Venus's weapon, which is the... I hate this guy. So after he does this, look. I hate Mercury. If you don't shoot him fast enough, he's gonna shoot out his weapon, and he'll take like parts of an E-tank from you. Like he'll just take stuff from you. But anyway, Venus's weapon, it's like a bubble that travels upwards, and it does explosive damage, and it scales the ceiling. Sometimes you have to get the angle correctly, because it travels in a zigzag pattern, and sometimes you miss. But it's still pretty strong, and it's convenient when it's necessary. Once again, we get shown how to use the weapons, which is pretty cool. Motherfucker. Guys, I'm not buying YouTube Premium. You can cry all day. I'm not buying it. YouTube can suck my dick if it thinks that I'm going to give any money to it anymore. Alright, so Jupiter's weapon, which is the second half of the Star Droid cast. It's this insanely powerful, like, short-range laser. It does like 1 or 2 hits to everything. The most annoying enemies you can find, just pull out the Jupiter laser. Boom, boom, it's dead. Saturn's weapon is like a black hole that kind of expands outwards. It's like a screen nuke. It's pretty good. Pluto's weapon is like you can dash through certain blocks. One of the blocks that you can break to find new paths. And then Uranus's weapon is one where you can pick up certain blocks from the ground and throw them at enemies. It's pretty cool. Another thing that I want to go over with these stages is sometimes the backgrounds are just really nice to look at. And we have just an abundance of sub-bosses. It's not just room after room, enemy after enemy. We also get treated to cool little sub-bosses, which I think are pretty interesting. And something that I do want to mention. I think that we were going to have Gravity Man, Gyro Man, Wave Man, and Star Man in this game, along with maybe the Robot Masters from Mega Man 6. But I think they scrapped those for the Star Droids, since I think they wanted to end the Game Boy line. And so there's definitely elements in this game that line up with those Mega Man 5 Robot Masters. Like, we've got water levels that's definitely fitting for Centaur Man. We've got these like gyrocopters bosses that's definitely fit for Gyro Man, and stuff like that. Jupiter's stage is a very like cosmic stage, very fitting for Starman. So just stuff like that I notice. Saturn's stage is gravity themed. So anyway, let's get back to the game. So I want to move past the levels here because you kind of get the gist of it. And so we're treated to yet another cutscene. And you think we're gonna look at the background? It's like a space. It's like NASA. And this isn't you moving. This is an actual cutscene. So nothing really happens here. We just get Terra once again. So we get a Yellow Devil boss fight, which I think is pretty cool. Alright, it's much easier and much more enjoyable this time than it ever was in Mega Man 1 or Mega Man 3. Alright, it's easier, and look at the design. His name is Dark Moon. So that's basically it. Yeah, some of the blocks bounce. And that's basically it for Dark Moon. I'm trying to keep this a little bit shorter than I want it. And so I want to get to the crystals. I want to show the crystals. I think maybe I'm missing it. Here, I'm going to pause. I'm just going to pause. My bad, guys. Alright, so I want to show you the cool new crystals that are in this game. It's these cool little collectibles that you need to get with the Mega Arm upgrade that lets your fist that you fire off grab stuff. Now, there's 4 of these that you need to find across the different levels. And with those, you can purchase the it's called like the something generator. And basically it reduces your energy consumption by 50%. So that's really about it, but they're cool. They're cool little collectibles, all right? I like them better than the Wily letters from the last game. So something that, let's see, I kind of went through everything right now. Something that I really don't like, though, is that you kind of have to backtrack. And here's the last Terra fight. Something that I don't like. Why? Okay. Why was it buzzing? Something that I didn't like was I had to go backtrack to another level to get a crystal that I needed with one of the weapons. That's one thing that I didn't like, but I still liked the levels, so it didn't really take away from the enjoyment of the game. That's just nitpicking. And something that I'm gonna do is nitpick because I don't think that's just me. There's just some things I don't think they're bad. I would just prefer if it didn't happen this way. So, after we defeat Terra, we get his weapon. It's like this homing missile that just keeps attacking an enemy until it dies. It's really strong. I'll show you. Yeah, it's called the Spark Chaser. And the letters for those in the item selection or the weapon selection is EA, so you know what planet he represents. So this is probably one of the best moments in the entire Game Boy line, or just the game in general. Dr. Wily has created his own Death Star. And I know Dr. Eggman did it first, but goddamn if I can't appreciate this one. Alright, it's really cool. It's called the Wily Star. Alright? And look at this. It's gonna fire the laser just like Star Wars Episode 4, which was the movie that came out before this game. So Capcom just wanted to do a cool little shout out to that. And so the last part of this game is really, really cool because you don't start off by doing Wily levels. You have this cool little space battle. You're flying through asteroids, and then you're fighting like Dr. Wily's TIE fighters. These are like the TIE fighters of this game. And they're shooting at you, and you gotta like fly around the whole screen to dodge, and it's just really cool. And so after this, he's shooting these freaking humongous laser beams at you, which are almost impossible to dodge. You have to like almost know beforehand, coming back to this game, what lasers are gonna come when. And so now, we're literally fighting the exterior of the Wily Star. This is probably one of the coolest moments in the entire game. I really like this. You have to hit the mouth. So that's about it for that fight. So let me go over one thing that I probably don't like about this. And by the way, this is one of the best Dr. Wily stage themes of all time. Alright. But something that I don't like about this stage, it's one big long stage, just like the other games. It's kind of underwhelming. You would think we would get like Stormtrooper themed stuff and more kind of Star Wars things. That's just because I'm a Star Wars fan. I was expecting more from a Death Star, but it's just these long hallways with the same kind of enemies. And granted, we have different rooms and different paths you can go down. But that's basically it. It's these long hallways with just a few different enemies, and that's it. Kind of underwhelming. Not the best final stage for the best Game Boy game in the series. I don't know. And so, but, you know what I did like? They brought back the Mega Man killers. And they also brought back Quint, which I don't know why they did that. But we get to fight the Mega Man killers all in one level. And they're much easier this time around. And I'll go over something that I also don't like about these levels. Is that when you get out of these Mega Man Killer rematches, there are these spike drops. There are these spike drops that you have to deal with. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. And that ties into something else, which is there's an abundance of spikes in this game, which it's something... this isn't a nitpick. I actually think this is a problem. There's different rooms in a lot of these levels that have you sliding under spikes to get different weapons. And there's also just spike drops and places where I don't think spikes need to be at all. And I think that really takes away from the enjoyment of the game. It's much easier if you just use the Mega Buster against these guys. And so, once again, we have the Robot Master rematch. And once you get past all that, which all in one level, by the way. Mega Man Killers, Robot Master rematch. And then once you get done with that... Oh yeah, and then here's Proto Man. He gives you, I think all he does... Yeah, he just gives you an item. And then he clears out the room for you. And so, something else that I'm going to nitpick about is these arm bosses, because there's two of these. It almost makes me feel like we're going to be fighting another giant Wily mech, just like the last game, but no, it's just two arms. Like, that's it. Which, I don't know, I kind of expected something more, but then, after we have to deal with one boss, we have to deal with the Wily Machine phases. And this one, I actually like this one. This isn't like the Wily Machines from 1 and 2, and especially 3, the stupidity of 3. But it's not complicated, but there's way more to it. You got this robot trying to raise you into the spikes. You've got these little these ticking time bombs that jump at you, and you have to have them jump over you sometimes, and you got to shoot them into the machine, and then you've got the rockets. So after that, you got to deal with the second phase, which not my favorite, but I did not know the weakness was Mercury's weapon. But you got to like mini jump up so you can shoot him. But after that kind of weirdness, we think, okay, I guess we're going to fight Wily one more time, or Wily has one more trick up his sleeve. But, does he? I don't know. And here we have the best boss fight in the entire Game Boy series. One of the best boss fights in the entire Mega Man franchise. Alright? You're glazing! No, I'm not glazing. Okay, you have to play the game. And you have to see it for yourself too. And so it turns out that Sunstar is not actually working for Wily. He's his own thing. Dr. Wily is not the final boss this time, which is like a new thing. It's crazy. And so you're fighting this really hard like star droid. If you don't have at least 3 E-tanks, you're done. You are screwed. Alright? Because this guy has a huge toolkit. He's really strong. Charge shots don't work on him. And you get to enjoy this fight with just this banging boss theme. And so once you get done with this fight, you're treated to more dialogue. He doesn't turn good. He kind of just is. He kind of has his own personality. He doesn't turn good. He's just Sunstar, you know? Wily never had him under his control, you know? So we had this cool little philosophical cutscene about the nature of robots and humanity and why robots fight with each other and for the humans. And it's kind of sad because Mega Man wants to help out Sunstar, but he can't because he's gonna self-destruct, and Mega Man just has to escape once again. It's like Sunstar could have turned into a good guy. Maybe. We don't know that. And we get this Super Metroid final cutscene. Just this humongous explosion, kind of like when Zebes exploded from Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo, which is a goated game. Maybe I'll do a classic Metroid review series. I don't know, maybe. I don't own all the games, so. And check this out. It's just like Star Wars, guys! Just like Star Wars, the Death Star exploded. I would like to see Death Star 2, like Wily Star 2, where it's like kind of half built, like Return of the Jedi. And so, we're still not even done with the game. We're still not done. We have, of course, we get to see the Star Droids again. We have one more cutscene. One more. It's like, we are so spoiled with this game. This game totally just blew it out of the park for the Game Boy. And for Mega Man in general. At least the classic series. And Wily's just back for more. Yeah. You're not getting that run back, bro. You're not getting that run back. And I guess he gets away. We never see him get away. We just see him run away and Mega Man just chases after him. Something that I don't understand is why would they have Dr. Wily do like his little begging animation as if he's not gonna just try to take over the world again, as if he's not gonna try to run away. And that's it. We get this cool little picture of the planet and some stars and whatever else in space. I gotta pull up the tier list. Alright, so here's the tier list. Where is it? Mega Man 5. Where would I put... It's definitely not D, C, B. You know, amazing music, great story, great characters, just great gameplay. Actual things that were executed really good, except for Tango. Great weapons for the most part. And you know what? I gotta put it in S tier. This is S tier. I will die on this hill. This is one of the best Mega Man games ever created. This is probably top 5 Game Boy games. Top 5 Game Boy games of all time. This is probably top 50 games of all time, if not top 100 games of all time. I'm sorry. We just get dialogue and cutscenes, and the story basically is that Wily found these ancient robots and he reprogrammed them to fight for him, and so it makes you it brings in a new idea for the series. Like, what kind of other robots are out there in space? Because we don't know where Duo comes from Mega Man 8. He just crashes down from space. And so does Shadow Man. Shadow Man is not from this planet either. So it kind of makes you think, what do these things have in common? You know, what's the connection? It's this mysterious thing that I guess we're not going to find out, because Capcom just, I don't know, it doesn't really care about this that much. But, yep, this is one of the best Mega Man games of all time. And this is an experience. That game was an experience. All right, if you like Mega Man and you like the Game Boy, that game's perfect for you. All right? I tell people when they mention Mega Man, if they want to start with the Game Boy games, just play Mega Man 5. You know what? That's really all you need to play. Mega Man 5, 4, and maybe 3. That's all. But I would say that Mega Man 5 for the Game Boy is almost a perfect game. Maybe a perfect Game Boy game, if not a perfect game. Again, it's on the Game Boy, and there's, you know, the old school Game Boy trolls, you know, when you get hit, you fall down the ladder, and, you know, just stuff like that. And, but it is what it is. And one thing I will mention, and it's nitpicking again, some people might not like just the at the very end, boss after boss after boss after boss. Because the beginners are probably going to have to use a bunch of E-tanks. But I guess it is what it is. That's one of the many issues with this game. But it doesn't take away from the enjoyment. So that's all I have to say about Mega Man 5. We're finally going to return to the NES, the last NES game, Mega Man 6, next time. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and with all that said, I will see you guys next time, back on the flip side. Peace.